Welcome to Espresso Yourself, the podcast where mom life, running life, and teaching life collide.
We're three women juggling lesson plans, long runs, and real life chaos, sharing honest conversations about motherhood, miles, and making a difference in and out of the classroom.
Whether you're listening on a run, in the carpool line, or hiding out with your coffee, you're in the right place.
So lace up.
Tune in.
And let's do life together.
Welcome back to Espresso Yourself. This week, we are coming off of Memorial Day weekend. So a 3-day weekend for all of us, enjoying that extra day as we head into the end of the school year for Becky and I and Katie kicking off her busy summer of PDs, just catching up on how we are surviving the end of the year because the next time we talk, this school year is going to be over. So, how are we coping with the final days? I know, Becky, you have talked a lot about how this is going to be a hard ending for you because you have just really loved that kindergarten grade that you had this year. So,
Yeah, I keep thinking about we have our end of year performance on Wednesday. And then, all the families come back to the room, and I do awards, and I put together a slideshow. And I keep my Carson, my 9-year-old, is like, "You're watching that again?" You're like, yeah, I just want to pick the best songs, and I just want it to be so powerful because we've had 178 days so far, and on Wednesday we'll have had our 180th day. And it's that's 180 days worth of memories summed up in 5 minutes and then goodbye. And a lot of time, a lot of the reels that I've been seeing right now that have been coming up on my For You page, it's in August, it's just a list of names. And in May, it's a family. And I'm just
yeah.
I'm gonna set out boxes of tissues and not have not wear mascara and just I don't want it to end. I'm so thankful for summers off, and I'm so thankful to have slower mornings, and I'm so thankful to travel and all of that, but it's just we've been through so much together and we've all grown so much together. And I've mentioned it probably multiple times this school year, but I have seen myself grow as a teacher way more this year than any other year. And it's just been so reflective. And all of them too. And I know they're only 5 and 6 years old, but they get it. They understand. And we have kept track of every single day and counted every single day. And I told them this on Friday. I said, at the beginning of the year, I thought it's going to be so fun to count to our 100th day of school. And it's going to be so fun. And when all of our tens frames are all filled up, then you guys are going to first grade. And I remember being so excited about that because I'm excited for them to grow up. But even from the last 20 days of school, we all have been so sad together about not wanting to leave each other. And I've never had that in the 15 years that I've been teaching. I have never, ever had the reciprocal enjoyment of being in school. And I can't believe last year at this time, I was like, I'm done with teaching. I'm done. I'm going to walk away. And I've also seen all those reels come up too on my FYP. I'm leaving teaching. It's not good for me. It's not good for my mental state. I'm not a good mom when I come home. I'm not a good wife when I come home. I'm not even a good teacher when I'm at school. And it was just survival to the, of the fittest, I guess. And now I'm people ask me, are you going to do kindergarten next year? And I keep saying, I don't see myself leaving kindergarten for a while. And just picking these songs for this slideshow that I made, I I thought, okay, this Taylor Swift song would be really good, and this song would be really good, and I hate YouTube because so many things come up that should not come up, but things came up that I'm like, oh my gosh, this song is perfect. I've never heard it before, but it's like absolutely perfect. And just, I'm feeling all the feels. And I don't know, just, I wish I could put it into more words, but gosh, I loved this year so much. There were times where I was like, "What in the world am I doing? Is this life right now?" In, like, more of, like, the negative space because it was October and September, and I, like, really didn't know what I was doing, but it's hard. It's hard. I know I'm gonna be happy when summer finally comes on Friday, but gosh, this year has just been the best, and I've loved it so much. So
Yeah, because is your last student day Wednesday or Thursday? I can't remember. You're muted, I think.
I was on mute because he was in here. Our last school day is Wednesday, but after the performance, like after we do the awards in my room, the parents are free to take the kids home. And so I imagine that most of them will go home. Maybe 3 will stay, is my guess. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. Then we have to be there Thursday and Friday, but it's really just to clean things. I might have a training that I can go to instead of doing it over the summer,
gotcha.
but that's it.
Yeah. So because my last
Yeah.
student day is Wednesday as well, but we only have to go back Thursday
Mhm.
for
Okay.
cleaning and grades. So, yeah. So you just have the 2 days left as well.
Our grades were due on Friday.
So our grades aren't due
Our
until
grades were
Thursday,
already
which
due.
my family that goes to a different school, I was just talking to them and like they have to have their grades done by tomorrow and their last school day's Thursday. I'm like, that's crazy. We've never had that. Like our grades, but I don't know. So what do you guys have planned the last 2 days? What do you guys I know that at one point you talked about they have like a big outdoor thing, right?
So this past Friday, they called it the Splash Bash, and they had 6 huge inflatable water slides just out in our field. And so every grade level got like 45 minutes to an hour out there. And there's a pretty big company that's down here that set it all up the day before. And yeah, so everyone got to do that on Friday. And then we've been going through our ABC countdown. So we only have Y and Z left. And Y is year end cleaning. So I'm like, they've already cleaned out all of their stuff because I didn't want them to have to take everything home tomorrow. But I said, hey, we're going to just get some stuff and we're going to clean stuff up. And I mean, that's really, I'll have other stuff that they can be doing tomorrow, but we're, we're not really doing much. And then, but honestly, like giving them toys, they're set. They are set. We can do Play-Doh, we can do coloring, we can do watercolors,
Yeah.
they can play with toys. Giving them play centers. They ask for that all the time. I said, play centers, you want to do play centers? We can do play centers. Go ahead. I have a little play kitchen in my room and they love it. They love it so much. So that and then Z is Zoom into first grade and that's it. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like zip it up,
Well,
zip
their
it up and out.
backpacks, they're not bringing their backpacks or or anything, and it's like 90 degrees here. So, they don't
Yeah,
need to zip anything up. I did think about that, but it's just zoom off to first grade and
I
we'll
like
just
that.
yeah, that's it. I'm
Do
actually
you
kind of surprised that I made it all the way through the ABC countdown successfully because a lot of times I had these like grand plans and then I'm like, kind of lose steam after the excitement has worn off, but I've done it. I gave them extra recess, which was on Friday, extra recess on an extra special playground. It's just like the first grade playground that they've never been on. And
oh, that's fun.
they loved it. Okay, I mentioned I had this hilarious story to tell you. So, as I gave them that extra recess on Friday on the extra special playground, the booster club along with the splash bash was making snow cones. We have just a snow cone machine. And so they were like, "Okay." I said, "Can I just get one? It's so hot outside. I haven't had one today." They said, "Sure." Do you want cherry? Do you want strawberry? Or do you want pina colada? And the person that I asked is one of Carson's friends' moms. And we've known each other for a little while. And I said, oh, pina colada would be great. And she's like, sorry, I can't make it a real pina colada. I said, that's okay. I'm going on a cruise this summer. Like, not a big deal. So I get the snow cone and I bring it over to back to where my kids are. I didn't go far. And one of my students, she like gets life. She gets it. She said, "Oh, Mrs. Heber, what flavor did you get?" I said, "Pina colada." She goes, "I had that too. Now, is yours the kid pina colada or the adult pina colada?" And I was like, "It's the kid pina colada because I can't have anything else here at school." She goes, "Yeah, I like the kid pina colada. The adult one it doesn't really taste good." And I was like, "Okay, go ahead, go, go ahead and play now." What?
Gotta love kids.
Oh my gosh. But like she was spot on and it fit her, like her personality. Oh my gosh. I thought, okay, all right. And now the school year's about to be over. So cool.
And now you can have all the adult pina
So,
coladas you want.
well, yeah. Yeah, I can. That'll for sure happen. We're taking a cruise over 4th of July weekend. So that yes. So I want to hear all about those shirts that you sent us a picture of and you were talking about
Yes.
last week, Allison.
Yes. So I was so excited. So, I mean, the last few days, it's just like, right, we got to make it to the end because the kids are checked out. We're ready for summer, especially like the older kids. You can't entertain like you can those kindergarten kids. Like, you can't just get out the Play Doh and stuff. Right, like, so like my boys have been playing baseball in the morning in my room. And I'm fine with it because they've done it respectfully. Like, I've built a connection with them enough that they know how to maintain it without going crazy. Like, cause we have a soft start in the morning and we did so this week we did our bat decorating, so the wooden bats, and they decorated. I ended up getting some stencils so it would help the kids do like the ice cream drops and like painter's tape to wrap around. So a couple of them did that. They had a lot of fun doing it. A couple of my kids didn't get finished, so I was like, "You can finish them back in my classroom," because we did it during, like, a lunch and recess time. So we did that on Wednesday, and then Thursday, we did room transformation. My other 2 coworkers, they did a race theme for, like, the Indy 500 up here, and I think if I would have had more time to wrap my head around it, the indie theme too, like my dad has all this NASCAR stuff. My grandpa was a NASCAR driver, like back in the day, like when it was a dirt track. And I could have pulled it off with decorations, but it wasn't mentioned until like Monday, and I'm like, I don't really want to go buy a bunch of stuff. And I'm doing these shirts, and between the shirts and the bats and like trying to pull it off, I didn't want to overwhelm myself. But also I was like, I want to do something fun for the kids because if they're doing it and my kids come in, they're going to be sad that I didn't do it. And so I asked a couple of my kids, I'm like, would you rather have a race day or a tropical day? And like all the kids I asked said tropical. I'm like, okay, that's easy because we were doing our Moana show that day and it was like advertised for all the kids to wear Hawaiian. So I'm like, great. Like they're already going to come dressed in Hawaiian. And it was pretty easy to do. I only like bought like a couple like things that hung from the ceiling and like a backdrop. So I didn't have to go spend a ton of money. The kids loved it. We played Hawaiian like music all day. Like we did like 10 stations that were like reading stations that were all review of the skills. We did that. That took the entire morning. And we did the same thing for math where it was 10 stations. And they were the calmest they've been all year. And it was like unstructured because they just could go from station to station at their own pace. I gave them the option. You can work with a partner or if you just want to be by yourself, like totally up to you. So they loved it. And I just kind of sat back. Like I couldn't just sit back because they kept bringing their papers for me to check them. Because once they got done with that station, if they got them all right, they could go to a new station and things like that. But it was just fun. And then that Friday, we had our 4th grade cookout. So we have like a regular morning. And then after lunch and recess, we pick the kids up at 12:10. No, just kidding. 1:10. And then at 1:30 started our like kickoff. So like, we go out to the grassy area just outside of our hallway and we grill and the kids have hot dogs, chips, water, and then we have parents bring yard games. Well, usually it's only 3 parents per classroom that we invite to come to help. And then this year there was a little bit of a debacle and we had to like basically open it up to all parents, which became a lot. Like I had 11 from my classroom come And there was a lot of just because the kids are just playing with their friends. And like it's not necessarily a cookout where families are coming and we're having a cookout with families. I think that message got miscommunicated for families. I didn't mind all the families because it was just extra eyes on kids, to be honest. And I was like trying to socialize though with all the parents because I didn't want to be rude and like not talk to this mom over here or something. But that goes all the way up until like 10 minutes before the bell rings. So they're just out there for almost 2 hours just hanging out. So that's a lot of fun. But in the morning, so like I had planned the shirts. The mom came in on Tuesday. We had these Bob shirts made for the inside joke of my student. His mom came in Tuesday. We did all the shirt pressing, got them all knocked out. We were down to like 2 shirts left. They were ours, and I had to go pick up the kids from specials. I was like, "I'll stall and I'll go out around the building and walk outside because that's not uncommon if the weather's nice to do that so that she could get everything cleaned up." And then, so then that Friday, we were coming back from lunch and recess after picking up the kids, and our behavior specialist was like walking with us. So I'm like, I think he needs a job. I think he needs to go clean tables. He's like, well, I don't want to go do that. I'm like, I'll give you some Jolly Ranchers if you do it. He's like, okay, I'll do it. So, because I was trying to figure out a way to get him out of the room. So she took him. I got the whole class back, and I was like, I need you guys to come sit up here. And they're like, what's going on? Yeah, they could tell something was up because I was like recording them. And I was like, so you guys know I had these white shirts for you guys to sign today because they kept asking, when are we going to get our shirts? And I said, we'll put them on right before the cookout. I was like, "But these aren't just any shirt." And I, like, held it up, and they were, like, super excited. We're like, "All right, so we all need to go put them on, and then when we're gonna surprise him when he comes back." That's why I've had him go and do special jobs. And so then we all had him on, and he came back, and he was so excited. His mom was like she's like, "It was just the coolest thing, like, I love that you thought about him." And when everybody signed each other's shirts, like, that was fun. I'm like, 10 out of 10 recommend doing a shirt signing each year, like, at the end of the year. 'Cause that was so much fun for the kids. And, like, we went out to the cookout then after we all signed each other's shirts, and, of course, all the kids in the other class were like, "We want a shirt too. Who's Bob?" And they were asking about it. Of course, there was, like, 3 students absent Friday, so I was, like, bummed. One of them was his good friend, so I was bummed he missed it, but we're like, "Bring your shirts back, and they can sign them, and we'll all sign their shirts on the last day or whatever." But it was things like that, like, this week that made me, like, see, this is what I love, these connections with the families and the kids. And I feel like so much of that has been taken away through with our academic push. And I know the academics are huge, they are very important, but also like building that community and finding ways that make kids want to be there because if they want to be there and they enjoy their time there, they're going to naturally do well for you. They're going to want to do well for you. So, and then tomorrow we have our field day, and then Friday is like their end of the year awards, and then just time together. Like, so I'll probably just do games. I told my students to bring their wiffle ball bat, and we would go out in the afternoon and split our class in half and have a baseball game because there's a lot of baseball fans, and they enjoy it together. So we're just making it to the end, but I will be sad because I really did like this group of kiddos.
Yeah, I used to tell my 5th graders, like, when they would say, "Oh my gosh, it's time to go already." I'm like, "That is the best thing." I love that. When
Yeah.
you don't realize that we're here together. I had 2 groups, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and I was like, "When you don't realize you're in my classroom doing math and science for 2 hours and you say, 'It's time to go
Yeah.
already?'" I'm like, "Yes, I won the
Yeah.
day."
Best day ever. I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love that.
So it's bittersweet.
We had a crazy week. So we got rain, like a lot of
Yeah.
rain every day last week. It didn't rain out the graduations, but it did flood 2 of our schools. 2 of our schools' roofs ended up caving in overnight, 2 elementaries. And this happened Tuesday night into Wednesday. So Wednesday morning, I wake up to a message that said, um, um, that said, "Hey, while or two of our elementaries are closed for the day due to flooding in the building. So come to find out, the damage was so bad that they couldn't have school the rest of the week. I mean, the kids were still supposed to go Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And you had the kindergarten graduation, and then you had the fifth grade, ceremony as well. And then they had their other little award ceremonies and end of year stuff. And so the schools and the district had to like pivot fast and kind of figure out other solutions. And so luckily the junior highs that are adjacent to those schools stepped up and helped and said, hey, we'll rearrange our award ceremonies so your kids can come over and have theirs. The seniors usually do their senior walk on those elementaries. And so they had to kind of adjust those as well. But one of the elementaries, the library is completely like destroyed. Parts of the gym and the cafeteria and then like a front hallway. But this school also had a pipe burst at the beginning of the year and flooded
I
half their
remember.
building as well. So this was the same elementary school that this happened to back in like, I think September.
Yeah,
or
wasn't it
August.
coming back from like not Memorial, Labor Day
Labor Day?
weekend?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they started the year with a flood and they ended their year with a flood.
My
And
gosh.
yes. And then this other elementary school, and what they found out is we had a hailstorm here probably like 3 weeks ago. And it got pretty bad, but I guess we didn't realize how bad. And these buildings are older. Like one of the buildings is 20 years old. And then the other one, I think the other one's like 15 years old. But they're getting up there in age. They're due for some, repairs anyways, but I think nobody knew like it was that bad. But they were able to like, get the kids their awards, their ceremonies and whatnot. But and then none of the graduations like got rained out, but it was crazy. Like it made like I was ready to like, okay, do I need to go help? Do I need to go like clean up? And they were like, no, it's okay. But it just made for like a crazy end of the year. So
Oh my gosh.
Did you see that school in I think it was in Tennessee, I just saw it today, where they had their graduation walk outside and it was a torrential downpour and they didn't move it inside. They kept going and families were sitting there and they're not happy. Like it's like an uproar now. Like these kids deserved better.
it was bad.
I can imagine.
Did y'all see the videos?
Yes.
I saw a couple of videos on TikTok. It was bad. Like they gave them
Becky's got to get the
ponchos. I'm
phone
like,
out.
those ponchos did
Nothing.
nothing. Yeah, you got to look it up.
I am.
It was horrible. I know our district said, hey, if it's lightning or thundering, we call it. Rain, we won't. But luckily, there was no rain. And I think with that type of torrential pouring, they would have pulled it inside. They would have been like, no, bring it inside. Because that was bad. And yeah, they should be dealing with pushback. Like 100% they should be dealing with that. Because that was horrible. Yeah, she's looking it up still.
Yeah, I tried like looking on TikTok, but I'm just going to search it up on Google.
Yeah, it was, but it was Tennessee.
Was it Franklin, Tennessee?
I thought that too. Franklin came to my mind.
I think it was Franklin. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. A recent highly publicized Tennessee high school graduation ceremony. Was that what it was?
Mm-hmm. You got to see the video though. Like there were
Turned in-
videos and it's just, and there's
Yeah.
these kids just sitting in the chairs with their diploma and it's in their ponchos. I mean, the poncho did nothing, absolutely nothing. They were soaked.
And their
It
diploma
was
is soaked.
the worst.
Like,
and
what?
parents are like, I didn't stick around.
Face says it all.
Oh,
I'd
yep.
be so
Mhm.
mad.
My gosh. That's what?
So bad.
Oh, no. That is not okay. Holy cow. See, it's like when I graduated high school, we went over to my high school was like 15 minutes away from Northwestern University. And that's where we had our graduation inside and whatever. Now, the high school, they have it out on the football field. And I'm like, that is too risky. But they just needed more seats and they wanted to keep it local. And, like parking was an issue. But like, that just seems really risky to me. And now, like down here in Florida, like that's just what they're doing. And one of the high schools, there was lightning during like when they were calling all the names. And then there was rain. And so they just had to stop it. Like they couldn't do anything about that either. But I feel like that's just so risky.
Yeah.
You
I
can't
know.
play with lightning or thunder. Funny enough, I had to make the call on Saturday morning for the run club to cancel because I got up at 4:45 and I'm in the bathroom and I'm like about to put in contacts and brush my teeth and I hear a rumble and I'm like, hold on. And so I open my phone, pull up the weather app, pull up the radar, and I start playing the hourly to kind of see what the radar is going to do. And I was like, oh no, like we're not. So I start texting the vice president. I said, hey, are you good with calling it? I don't think we need, and I sent him the video of everything. And he's like, oh no. He's like, we should call it for sure. Sure enough, like 10 minutes after we called it, I heard torrential downpour, like, and I was like, good thing I called it. But then we come to find out that there were other, not like in our immediate area, but like in the Houston area, other run clubs that still held their runs. There was this one club that they do this like you run for hours around a track and they have like a bunch of support out there and it's kind of they call it track 40 and they put it on every year. They still held it and then they put videos out of it lightning and storming and them holding down these tents while still hosting the event. And I'm like, I'm not about to get sued or have a lawsuit or anything for my club. I'm not having my club attached to that. And the fact that they let that stuff go out there, I'm like, that's
Yeah.
dangerous, guys. Like you can't play with weather like that.
My goodness. Yeah.
That's why you should always
That's
have a backup plan. Like, I had my wedding outside, and that
mhm.
terrified me because I was like, I do not want to get rained on. But mainly, I had it outside because I wanted my pastor, who was retired, to marry us, and he could. He could in the church, but he had to be like a backup, like secondary. I'm like, no, not doing that. So we did outdoor, which I liked anyways, but I was terrified about the weather, the anxiety, and like our backup was to come inside. Now, would the backup have been as nice as I would have liked if we would have had to come inside? No, but it was at least something. So, like, I feel like these places have to have a backup or like an emergency shelter, something, because what if like a tornado or I don't know what that Tennessee place came through? Like, that many people where you do in case of a natural disaster. There has to be some sort of safety guidelines,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's too much this time of year. We just got into rainy season
Yeah.
like last weekend. We are now in rainy season.
Yep. I mean, that's how we were because our
It's like
we got
rainy
married
and
June 3rd.
hot.
Yeah, you just never know.
We were out in the pool for like 3 hours. My 4-year-old finally can just like swim on his own. And so since the pool's in the backyard, he's like, can you go swimming? Sure. Why not? And now I am in the pool, but I don't have to be in the pool. So
Yeah.
it's a lot more enjoyable.
Oh, yeah, and then we go out to the
But
pond because
I'm
we
afraid
did
to
the
see if I've
flowers.
gotten burned.
This was
Hmm.
before we even sat outside. We went to my mom's and, like, had, like, snack food and sandwiches, and then we had an impromptu wiffle ball game of parents versus the kids, and by parents, I mean my generation and my mom's generation, so grandparents and us versus the little ball players, and then I think I just got burnt from there, and then we went to the cemetery because when we came back, I put a ton of sunscreen on because the kids then wanted to go swimming. And I was like, all right, you guys can go swimming for a little bit. The weather's nice. I'm not gonna. But then it's like trying to get them to leave my mom's house is like the hardest thing ever, especially when the cousins are there. And oh my guys, we have 2 more days left. 2 more days. We will be at grandma's all the time this summer. I promise. Because I enjoy going there because then I can just sit back and relax. But I'm like, I don't have to get into the
Hmm.
water because they're all content. I'm looking forward to those days.
Well, we're excited to come back next week and hear how the last couple of days of school have gone for Allison and I, and to see how Katie's summer is going to ramp up and just getting ready for that hot weather for running and just doing all the things. So we will see you guys back here next week.
Thanks for sipping and sharing a moment with us today. We can't wait to keep showing up with you each week. Messy, caffeinated, and real.
And if you like what you heard, we'd be so grateful if you'd follow, subscribe, or share this with your teacher bestie, mom group chat, or training partner, or all three. It helps more people find our little corner of chaos and connection.
Make sure to hit follow so you don't miss next week's episode. And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Espresso Yourself Podcast. Tell us what resonated, share your own stories, what topics you want us to cover, or just come say hi.
Until next time, keep showing up.
Keep giving yourself grace.
And espresso yourself.
One
One sip at a time.
time.